Y'all, whatever it is you want to do, start your own business, move up at your company, whatever it may be. For me, it's business. I started my own pressure washing business. So, a lot of it, of what my thoughts that I've been thinking lately, a lot of it's based around that. But whether it's lawn care, landscape, pressure washing, which is what I started, if all you got to do is YouTube it, there's people who've already done it, who's only a year in, 6 months in, who's 5 years in. There's someone you can literally go on YouTube and watch. They're doing videos. They're talking about every step of the way. They're talking about what they did, how they did it, where they're at now, where they started. All you have to do is go on YouTube, watch it, write it down. I know. Take a pen, take a piece of paper, get a notebook, and actually be a student for once in your life. Or for, again, since school, let's get our notebooks out. Let's get our pens out. Let's write down a plan and actually stick to it. All you got to do, there's proof. Most of us, until this day and age of YouTube and all this like social media, most of us had, unless we just knew someone who went from 0 to 100 or whatever it was, unless we knew someone, there was no one for us to watch. Or there was no way for us to watch or see or believe it was even possible. But nowadays, all you have to do is get on YouTube. Oh, I think I'll do pressure washing. This was my thoughts a year ago. Let me start watching some YouTube videos. Watched probably 20 hours worth of YouTube videos on what soft washing is, pressure washing, when to do which one. A lot of videos about starting a business, what to do, what not to do. 20 hours to 30 hours at least. And then I did it. I just started it. And here I am a year in. Yes, I've made plenty of mistakes. I've wasted a lot of money. And I didn't think I was going to make it from week to week, month to month. But slowly but surely, I've been figuring it out. Now, I'm not telling you can watch YouTube and just set the future out, set the plan out, and it's going to go exactly that way. No. But you can understand, you can see other people who did it. You can hear their, the things not to do, the things to do, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. You can hear all this stuff and you can see their life now. You can see where they were. If you want to, pick someone now and watch them for a year and see where they progress and where they go to. It's there though. You can watch it, you can take notes, you can study, and you can implement it into your life. That wasn't always possible. That wasn't always a thing. So all you have to do is just adhere to the plan and stick to it, and you can do it. I mean, how simple does it need to be to start your own business or build a product, art, or make some sort of product and sell it on Amazon or whatever it may be, TikTok shop, all these things. Like, pick someone and follow them, learn from them. Hell, call them, text them, email them, something, talk with them, watch all their videos, and then just simply do it, But it's not enough to just write the plan down. It's not enough to just see someone who did it. I'd like to start a pressure washing business, and I'm watching, all these YouTubers, and I'm like, they did it. Why can't I do it? You have to actually believe that. Don't just say that. You have to believe it, and then you have to implement it, and you have to stick to it. And a year, I promise you, I just lived it. I just did it. If you will stick to it for 1 year, your life will look so different. If you don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you other than I just did it. I'm just now coming up on about a year and a half is coming up, and from 0. And I mean it. I don't actually negative, not zero money, but negative. I had credit cards and other stuff from negative to $100,000. I made over $100,000. It's 2025, December of 2025. I just cleared over $100,000 for 2025. Pressure washing houses, roofs, and driveways. From watching YouTube to making a plan and just sticking to it and riding it out and learning and taking notes. I would say the biggest thing is what's the word I'm looking for? Feedback. The biggest thing is to listen to the feedback. And it's not in the form of someone calling you and telling you, hey, this works, this doesn't, but take the feedback. So when you put out yard signs, for instance, you put 20 yard signs out and you didn't get any calls, understand why. Take the feedback. Don't just say, oh, yard signs don't work for me. It was 20 yard signs. Why don't we do 200, then see how many calls we get, and then say, okay, what percent of 200 of calls did I get from 200 yard signs? Okay, it works, but it's just a certain percent. Now I know what to do going ahead. If I do more yard signs, then my percent of calls will go up, the jobs I got, so on and so forth. Door hangers. I did 1,000 door hangers and got very few calls. I would probably say 0 calls from just hanging the door hanger. No, I would say 2 or 3 calls from just hanging the door hanger on someone's door. Most of them were from knocking the door and handing them the door hanger. Those, they're seeing your face, they're seeing you in your work shirt. You can talk to them, explain, they get a feel for you. They have a face to remember with your door hanger. You'll get calls from those. I probably got a dozen calls from actually handing someone the door hanger. But just from hanging the door hanger on the door without knocking, and not if they weren't home or whatever, I would say 2 or 3 calls out of 1,000. So if you add those together, I would say 12 to 15 calls or jobs from 1,000 door hangers. I did 3,000 postcards in the mail. Mailed out 3,000 postcards. I had a mailing list in the zip code that I was targeting around me that I've already done a few jobs in. I've been driving my truck and trailer up and down the road. Okay, I was like, this area, I want to get more business in. Let's do 3,000 postcards. I just knew 100 people were going to call, and out of 100, I was hoping I'd get 50 jobs. 5 phone calls. I got 4 jobs, 4 estimates, went out, gave the 4 estimates, and got 4 estimates, 4 jobs lined up pretty quickly. And then I got a 5th a little bit later on from the postcards, but total 5. 5 jobs, 5 customers from 3,000 postcards. So it's not that they don't work. It's that, okay, next time I do it, I need to do like 10,000 or 20,000 postcards to get that 100 that I was looking for. And even then, it may not be quite 100, but still 20, 30, 40, 50 jobs, that would just be a blessing. You would definitely be able to make quite the profit from 10 to 20,000 postcards if you got 20, 30, 40, 50 jobs. That would be huge. We'll see. So it might take more than that. I don't know. I'm just kind of basing it, 5 jobs from 3,000. So maybe if you do 20,000 postcards, hopefully 25 to 30 jobs, I would hope. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sure the time of year, all those things play a factor. But yeah, you got to spend some money, you got to try some things, and you got to learn or take the feedback. That's the goal of 2026 for me, is to just pay attention to the feedback. Feedback is usually pretty instant, so as soon as you get the feedback, pay attention to it, and make a plan from it, learn from it, and then go forward. But yeah, wishing everybody a great 2026. If you haven't already, I'm building this business. I'm going to do more videos. I might not do videos of me pressure washing and soft washing, but I will probably do a lot of videos like this of just talking, explaining where I'm at, what's going on, mainly mindset. I believe that's the key. If you want to get on YouTube and watch some soft washing, pressure washing, guys who just started yesterday and guys who've been doing it for 10 years, they're making videos, they're putting it on YouTube. For me, I'm really, really interested, and I feel like this is the key factor. I feel like this is more important, is the mindset that goes into the business. The mindset that goes into being an entrepreneur. The mindset that goes into being even an intrapreneur. I was already like this. I was already looking for ways to be better, to learn, to kind of do the extra work without getting the reward or the pay. Even when I was in a factory, I would do extra work, extra hours. Of course, I would get overtime, so that's a benefit. But I was at least doing something I liked, practicing welding, learning something to progress my skill, progress my knowledge, to get ahead for the next day, something, So if you're not at least doing that in your 9 to 5, 7 to 3 job, whatever it is, if you're not being an entrepreneur, I would focus on that. I would focus on what inputs are you putting in? Okay, here's the outputs I'm getting out. What if I put more inputs in? What does my output go to? And especially now that I'm a business owner, it's the same thing. I would say I'm a full entrepreneur now. So if I don't put any inputs in, I will not have any money come in for the week. I will not have any jobs at all. I will not have any outputs if I don't put inputs in. You have to put inputs in, and you have to put more than you would think to get the small output. I'm putting a lot in, or so I think, to get those little outputs. Some of it's just thinking differently. Some of it is just simply upping the volume, upping the numbers. You can try to be strategic about it. Think about it, have a plan. Absolutely. I'm not saying don't do that. But if you're a year into the business, what kind of plan are you going to have? What kind of, other than just, I'm going to start a pressure washing business, what kind of strategy are you going to have when you've never done it? You're a year in. Now, a year in, little, I have a little insight as to what I would like my 2026 to look like, a little bit more realistic about what it's going to look like because I've done it a year. So I can definitely do what I just did, if not more. I would like to double or triple it. Okay, what's it going to take to do that? What volume am I going to have to, what volume of inputs am I going to have to put in? Yeah, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. If I'm crazy, tell me I'm crazy. If it makes sense, say, hey, that made a little sense. Thank y'all.